Welcome to what was a NatWest Bank turned into a beautiful venue ready for the Aziz Foundation X Criterion Connects Eid celebration. Now, throughout the whole month of Ramadan, I've had the pleasure of going to some of the most iconic venues in Britain. I'm talking about the V&A, I'm talking about Lords, I'm talking about Villa Park, and finally, we're finally ready to celebrate Eid. Tell me, 10 years ago, what was it that you saw that needed to be filled, that needed to be provided, and how did Aziz Foundation provide that?
We needed and we still need Muslim champions to articulate positive stories. Muslims have a lot to give to British society. That's what we set out to do, to invest in brights, can't afford masters, and who want to go up the food chain but also want to give back.
How does it feel for you to finally reach the end of Ramadan and to be able to have this Eid celebration in yet another iconic venue in the heart of London?
It's really cool. What's strange about this place, so it used to be a bank and it's been closed for a while, but Criterion Capital bought it to turn it into a Z-Well. Thankfully, not this beautiful space you see. This will stay as it is because it's a listed building, but we thought it was the perfect location to host our first ever Eid event, especially because this is 10 years of the Aziz Foundation. So we thought after something amazing like Ramadan Tent Project, this is a great way to kind of mark off the year.
Greatest wealth is not in what we keep, in what we give, right? So in how we make others feel, that's what's most important. And through these events, we have seen the joy transcend through all walks of life. Giving the adhan, that sound, permeates and echoes through these beautiful domes and halls and courtyards. And it's just such an honor to be able to do that. And I'm very grateful that I can impart that gift that God has given me, alhamdulillah.
So we were invited here and we're very excited to be here to meet other Muslims and other non-Muslims as well who are interested in Islam and also the Muslim community to celebrate Eid.
British Muslims make up a very small percentage of the population, but we deserve representation in the industries like journalism, the media, etc. So it's really important to have interfaith events like this to show that we are achieving things and we are a part of British culture. And I think especially events like Open Iftar at iconic locations, it's just nice to see yourself represented in places like this. So it's nice to have representation, and it's also important to kind of be inclusive and build community too.
We get to work on projects that no other organisation, whether religious or non-religious, is doing. Something like the UN Day to combat Islamophobia, something like Ramadan Light, something like scholarships. It's quite an intense, it's quite an powerful project to be a part of, even on a voluntary basis. And the team itself, they're literally like family. Like Zayn and I, who is my supervisor, is now like my badminton best friend. Sadia is like an older sister to me. Lena's again, we have that sibling relationship. So again, it's just because I have fun working with them and we get to work on projects that are just so one of a kind.
When they're up on stage and they're talking about their successes and how Aziz Foundation hasn't just helped them in their career but also helped them in their life, how does that make you feel personally?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, that they've worked hard. People working in the foundation really selected good people and given them the ability to get up the food chain. It's great. It's a great feeling.
The Aziz Foundation has impacted my life because they gave me an opportunity to do something I really loved.
Why is it important that we continue to support organisations like the Aziz Foundation? They've done amazing work in the last 10 years. Why is it important that we continue to support them in the next 10, 20, 30 years?
Well, they provide very specific help in terms of education. Now, education, as you know, is very, very important. We need our, dare I say it, our Muslim brethren and sisters, brothers and sisters, to be well educated. We need them to be at the forefront throughout life.
I was a security guard in a tea shop where there was an attacker who stabbed an 8 years old girl, 11 years old girl who were a tourist from Australia. So mom and kid just left the Lego store and they were attacked and the kid was stabbed 8 times. I was the one who was nearby, and at that time no one came nearby to stop the attacker. So I didn't think about myself, I just jumped in to save the kid. I tackled the attacker on the floor, kicked the knife away from him and hold him on the floor. So Aziz Foundation came over to me and they asked me, we want to support you. If you want to do further education, if you want to do the master's, PhD, we're gonna support you, we're gonna sponsor you. So I told them I already did the master's, I would prefer to have my field job. So they told, okay. So I had an interviews with the head of HR and had a meeting with them. So they took my interviews, it was good, and now I'm working for Criterion Hospitality.
If you could celebrate Eid with one person, past or present, you can't pick a prophet because that's a bit of a cop-out. Who would you pick and why?
Are there many people? I can't say one person. Many, many people. Rahima mentioned her grandmother, my mother, a wonderful lady who taught us the value of giving back. And I guess that's why Rahima selected her. So yes, that'd be it.
Who would I celebrate Eid with?
My grandfather, who came to this country when he was like 17 years old, so I wouldn't be here without him, or Malcolm X.
Malcolm X. Why Malcolm X?
I feel like I'd learned so much from him. I think he's just like a pillar of like modern British culture, and yeah, just a cool guy.
And what about you?
I'm going to cop out on this answer. Honestly, most of my family are back home in Afghanistan, so I'd get to spend Eid with them in an ideal world and be able to, you know, bring them here so that they can see my part of the world, or I could go there and enjoy Eid with them, with family.
It's Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi, the great illuminated poet.
I would pick Ben 10 of Ben Tennyson.
Ben 10, the cartoon character.